What was I chatting about? Gael and I were talking about like some philosophical ideas about the destruction of society, basically, and we're kind of like looking at the current situation in like, I don't know, Israel, Palestine, or like
81 months of
Congo.
ins. Oh my god.
Thank you so much, Fruitless Apple. We're kind of looking at like Israel, Palestine, Congo, like current election, you know, resulting in Trump, the types of things that contribute to that, the types of like mental states or civil, social unrest that causes those types of things to happen. Like, it would be nice. I look at how shitty things are in the world, especially things that are not like right next to me. And maybe they will be that shitty right next to me pretty soon. Like, you know, there's already like economic struggles happening in North America that obviously people are dealing with. And I'm very fortunate not to be dealing with that as hard as others. We don't fucking, we have no fucking idea what the next 4 years are going to look like, or the next like however many years plus. Like, it seems like every single global, like, global politics thing that is currently set up as like a given, like something that we're used to as an institution, like the EU, like the trade relationship between US and Canada, like so many fucking things that we just kind of take for granted are now up for debate and might not be here in a month, right? A lot of stability that we have gotten used to, that, you know, a lot of members in our society have benefited from, are potentially not going to be here very soon. Like, we have literally no fucking idea what's going to happen. Like, nobody has any fucking idea what's going to happen. We don't know if Trump's being played for a fool and just giving, like, Russia and China carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want, right? And increase themselves as global superpowers on the world scale. We don't know if he even cares. We don't know if he's aware of that, or if that's a possibility, or if that might happen or might not happen, right? Like, we don't, like, is he going to try to take Greenland, like, for serious? Is he going to actually try to, like, start a war with Denmark over Greenland? Like, what the fuck is happening? We've become so hyper normalized to things that are just, like, not normal at all. But, like, the slow fucking, you know, slow heat cranking of the frog in boiling water, or whatever kind of analogy we want to use, the type of shit that we've gotten used to is not fucking normal. It's fucked up. It's absolutely fucked up. And I can't fucking believe that America's just kind of chill with it. America's just kind of chill with it. Mitch McConnell's like, oh, I don't like that Trump is doing things now. You fucking let him, dude. You absolutely let him. You're fucking responsible. You had the opportunity to actually impeach and convict him over the January 6th shit, and you did not. You absolutely did not. You allowed this to happen. Why are these people, like, so many people are just fucking sheep, and they'll just go with the flow, and they'll just do like what they think they're expected to do in the moment. And a lot of these people are just politicians, and they're either just doing things that they think their constituents want to get more votes, or they're just doing things that they think their peers and their parties want, right? It's disgusting, and it's people are fucking stupid. People are absolutely fucking renegade. It started, and a lot of people are currently suffering, and are a lot more probably going to suffer based on those people. And a lot of people that didn't even know that they were voting against their own interests. I can say it. All right, Sorry. Wait, that's a different one. That's the wrong. I got confused. Damn it, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to check my map. 60% of the US did it for the egg. Yeah, well, you're never going to see it. You're never going to see the egg. I talked to these fucking people. I was in Georgia for the past, like, you know, like half of the last 3 years. I talked to a lot of these people. You know, they seem like normal people. They're just duped. Like, people are economically stressed. And, you know, that's a reasonable thing to feel. That's a reasonable, logical, human thing to feel when your country is fucking controlled by billionaires. The problem is people getting tricked into thinking that the solution for your country being controlled by billionaires is to make it even more controlled by billionaires. That's the problem, is that people got duped into voting for the ultra, ultra, ultra billionaire times 3 times infinity forever no take backsies party. That's the fucking problem. It's like we had like, oh, a bunch of millionaires and some billionaires, you know, dictate policy and control things. And people are like, we don't want that. But instead of voting for the no billionaires party, we voted for the only billionaires party, which sucks. Both sides are billionaires. Oh yeah, like billionaires are always going to be okay, no matter which party is in control. Like they're not the victims in either scenario. The problem is we've now given free reign. Like this is straight up fucking oligarchy, right? Like things that would have seemed insane if you wrote them in a novel. If you like put them in the fucking The Boys, right? People would be like, that's a little crazy. But now it's just like, oh, that's reality. Like nothing's too crazy anymore. Normalcy does not exist. 500 trillion in AI infrastructure. Sorry, is that a thing that like passed? Is that like an actual bill? Billion. Oh, that's billion. 500 billion. Okay. Well, I'll have to look at the specifics of that. I don't know what the hell's going on there. It's not looking good. It's seeming like the theme of the next while is just going to be destabilization, right? A combination of both destabilization of current institutions, which sure there are many problems with current institutions. I hate a lot of these current institutions. But like dismantling them without any kind of like better solution, right? Like if you have an issue with like the healthcare system and you want to dismantle it, great. Have a plan for a better healthcare system so you can dismantle it and replace it with something good, right? Some people are just so anti-establishment that all they think of is step one without thinking of like, oh, what are we going to do to replace that, right? A lot of these institutions exist and there's a lot of shitty things about them that we want to fix, right? But sometimes the solution isn't just let's get rid of the institution entirely and leave ourselves exposed, right? Like a lot of these things have some sort of necessity. A lot of these things exist because there's something that required it to exist in the first place. Not all of them. Sure. Like I don't blame people for wanting to tear shit down. Like people are struggling, right? The economic inequality that exists in the world where like 3 people are literally just hoarding like 99% of the wealth. Everybody else is struggling. And then people are so fucking misinformed and brainwashed that half of the people that are struggling are simping for the 3 people that are hoarding everything. Like if you taxed Elon Musk 70% of his current wealth, if you literally took 70% of his wealth and distributed it to everybody else, his life would not change. 90%. 90% of his wealth, his life would not change. His life would not change at all. He's literally just hoarding it, right? When you have that much wealth, when you're about to become a fucking trillionaire, you look at those fucking numbers like you're not doing it for any substantial reason. You're not doing it because it'll change your life. You're doing it because you have a fucking mental problem. In the same way that a fucking kleptomaniac feels like they have to steal shit, you feel like you have to hoard. Like it's literally just a mental problem at this point. Yeah, politics is a sports game between left and right because the billionaires fucking want to keep people distracted. And they want people to argue about like trans women in sports so that people are distracted from the fact that they're hoarding compulsively all the fucking wealth and that they're in fact responsible for everybody's issues right now. 99% of issues. Like the step one would be, hey, let's fix people's economic anxiety, right? That's step one to like every single fucking social issue. Is just fix people's economic anxiety. But they definitely don't like people being reminded of that. The rich do not want the poor to be okay because they are so fucking stupid that they don't understand that like a comfortable populace is one that's not going to revolt. Like the billionaires are so fucking stupid that they don't understand that like if people have absolutely basic social safety nets, then they're not going to fucking try to have a revolution. Like there wouldn't be no fucking Luigi, right? Like, but they have such a compulsive mental problem where they feel like they need to hoard all the fucking wealth. They're like, okay, if people at the lowest rungs of society have options, that's bad for me because I need them in that place in order to facilitate my lifestyle. We need the existing hierarchies to remain in place, is basically what they think. They think that if people have options in the lowest areas of society, that they won't still be like in the same environment as they currently are, in the same social status, in the same ability to, I guess, control other people. Like that's probably where most of it comes from, right? In order to have leverage over other people, you need them to be in a worse position. But like I think that they're still stupid because even if you gave people options, even if you allowed people things like basic income, you would still have so much fucking control over people, right? If you gave everybody like $600 a month, right? That's like not enough to make rent in like half the country, right? That would just be meeting some of your needs. You would still have an insane amount of leverage over people. You would still be a fucking trillionaire, dude. Almost trillionaire. You're getting there. You would still be a multi-billionaire. And you would still be able to be like, hey, do this for me and I'll give you money, which is what you clearly get off on, right? It's just they have to be actually fucking renegade. They actually have to be fucking it started. Like Mark Cuban seems to be like one of few billionaires that's like, hey, if we have a society that's not struggling, we actually do better economically as a country, and the billionaires do better too. But Elon Musk is just absolutely so fucking stupid that he doesn't understand that. Like, what do you want? Why do you, like, you literally don't even understand that your policies, like your own doing, is going to cause the destruction of society. Like, it's like people are going to be fucked in a way where like revolution is inevitable. And I don't even know what that revolution looks like. Like, are we heading back into like fucking 1940s Germany? I don't fucking know. Are we heading back into the 1800s France? I don't fucking know. I don't know what we're headed towards. And it's crazy that we live in such uncertain times, but like all of these existing issues that have been so apparent to anybody paying attention for the past 50 or 60 years have just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And people like Bernie have been shouting from the high heavens the exact same consistent message over and over and over again. Like every single fucking year, he's saying like the number of the percentage of wealth hoarded by the top 1%. And every fucking year, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And people aren't fucking doing shit about it. It's insane. The propaganda machine, especially in the United States, is a very well-oiled machine, and it's very unfortunate to have people simping for fucking like actual monsters like Elon Musk, like actual monsters. It'll fix itself sooner or later. Yeah, let's hope that there doesn't have to be like too much bloodshed to get to that point, but we don't know. We have like we have literally no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, sorry, Olivia. People call Bernie a hypocrite for being a billionaire. Spittersaurus, Bernie's not a billionaire. He's a millionaire, which anybody at the age of 80 should be if you're just responsible with your money. Like if you're a boomer that bought a property in like the 50s and you're not the biggest idiot on the planet, then yeah, you're a millionaire. Bernie's not a billionaire. Bernie's literally not a billionaire. He's not. Like anybody over the age of 80 should be a millionaire unless you're like so impoverished. Like, yeah, he got a book deal. He's like one of the most popular senators in the fucking country. How could he not be a millionaire? That doesn't make him a hypocrite at all. The difference between millionaire and billionaire is the difference between thousandaire and millionaire, right? Like, keep that in mind. The difference between a million and a billion is the difference between a thousand and a million. People forget that part. It's an insane difference, right? So for a millionaire to be saying like, hey, the top 1% of actual billionaires should probably be pitching in a bit more and not making it so that like the people at the bottom of society are paying the most of their percentage of their earnings. Like it should be incremental. It should be incremental, right? Like the bottom 10% should be paying nothing as a portion of their income, right? Bottom 50%, like 10% of their income. Top 1% should be paying like 90% of their income. Their lives literally would not change. Their lives literally would not change. What the hell is Elon Musk doing? Like, Elon Musk is not spending 90% of his fucking money every year. He's not. His life literally would not change. Like, literally, he's only hoarding it because he has a mental problem that causes him to make other people's lives worse. Like, he's literally a cancer on society. He's literally a cancer. That's the only reason he exists. It's very sad. There comes a point. It's like imagine instead of money, it's like hot dogs or whatever. Like you can only eat so many hot dogs a day, right? If we found the world record hot dog eater for how many hot dogs you ate in a day, and then we just use that as like the example for like, okay, once you're accumulating more than 80 hot dogs in a day, I think we can probably give the rest of the hot dogs to people who are getting 1 molecule of hot dog a day so that they don't starve. That's a fair policy, right? You're getting 80 hot dogs a day plus you're getting 800,000 hot dogs a day, right? We want to give all of your hot dogs above the 80 that you couldn't possibly eat, even if you tried. Even if you tried to eat them, they would just rot. They would just rot. That's all you're doing. You want to hoard the hot dogs so that they could rot and so that the people getting only 1 molecule of hot dog per day are dying. Because you get off on that shit and you're fetishizing it. And you love that they're dying because you want to have control over other people and being like, you want a bite of this hot dog? Suck my fucking dick, buddy. You like that they only have 1 molecule of hot dog a day because that gives you power over people. That gives you the ability to control others. And that's why you're perpetuating that system. Even though any fucking rational person that could possibly see, like, you're getting 800,000 hot dogs a day. You're pretending like you're like, oh yeah, that person deserves all those 800,000 hot dogs a day. Even though the only way that they're getting it is because they're exploiting others. That's the only way that they're getting it is because they exist in this in this system that they're perpetuating. I'm not arguing with you, Spittersaurus. The example of you is like Bernie in this situation. So Elon Musk is getting 800,000 hot dogs a day. They're just going to fucking rot and waste. He can't possibly eat that many in a day. The lowest percent are getting 1 molecule of hot dog per day. And Bernie's getting 5 hot dogs per day. And people are like, excuse me, Bernie, aren't you a little hypocritical with your 5 hot dogs while people are out there getting a molecule of hot dog a day? Bernie's like, I think the people with 800,000 hot dogs per day should help out. They're like, aren't you going to feed the entire planet with your 5 hot dogs? Buddy? Yeah, it's insane. Like, if people just thought for one fucking second about the arguments that they're making, people are either willfully ignorant or just so fucking renegade, just so fucking stupid that they don't even understand how stupid they are. How do you get $1 billion? Generally by exploiting others, although people have done it without doing it that hard. But yeah, generally you just have to be a person that has that hoarding mental problem where, like, if you get employees, you pay them as little as you possibly can, getting away with it, right? Like, that has to be your mentality, right? Trump is a person that famously, would not pay contractors. He'd like hire someone for a job and then be like, actually, yeah, this wasn't very good, and then not pay them. Like, look it up. Like, he's got a long history of that. He'll like borrow money and not pay it back. Like, if you're just in that mentality forever and it's always like me, 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 and you never give anything back to anybody ever, and you're just collecting as much as possible, and that's your entire mentality for your entire life, then you can become a billionaire, you know? Like, yeah, family inheritance, that's a huge thing, you're right. Nepotism being born into it, you know?